Good day, good day. Today is the 11th. I know it's dark. That should be a little bit better. Let me put my seatbelt on. I'm running a little bit behind, but I did want to sound off real quick as I was listening to a private debate, I'll say, going to the election debates last night. The political realm, if you've been around here for any amount of time, you know that I have defined politics. I haven't defined, but politics by definition is the science or study of government. Okay, so it is a study, I guess is the main point for the sake of time. It is a study. Who's doing the studying and who is being studied should be your question. All right, who's doing the studying and who is being studied? Well, it's a study of government. Govern means to control, so a study of control. And who is being controlled? Who are the ones being studied? Well, it must be we the people, right? Because the governments derive their just powers from the consent of the governed. We are the governed, the people. And so the government is studying us. Why would the government be studying the very people that consent to its authority, its powers over them? More than likely to see or experience the climate or the will of the people. All right, so I could just see like a science experiment where the scientist is probing the brain or what have you of the subject to get some kind of a response from the subject, meaning a stimulation to one part or portion of the mind to make the arm go up and down, to make the speech of the subject slur, and on and on. This is what the government is designed to do, and what it has the authority and delegation of authority by the governed to do. And so we should think it not strange that if you're anything like I am, when you hear both sides campaigning, that you tend to be kind of boggled in the mind or confused, which by definition means two pieces of metal melded together under much heat. It's a short circuit, in other words. And this is what happens to the minds of the governed, the people, we the people. As we're listening to both sides jockey for greater influence, they will say whatever they need to say to win this political rivalry. Often, and at times, contradicting previous statements made. But that matters not, because there are two machines. The Democratic machine, or Democrat, and the Republican machine. There are two machines that have millions of complex parts. And no matter what, each side must keep to the agenda and must cover up the flaws within that system in order to keep the integrity of that system, or at least what is perceived as integrity by their constituents, or that party's constituents. Okay? So what am I saying? I was literally feeling vertigo, I'll say. Just this AM here, this early AM, it's now 4:46 Central Standard Time. And I was literally feeling vertigo. I was feeling dizzy listening to this debate or these debates. All right, going to Donald Trump and Kamala Harris. It was literally making me almost sick, and not only sick, but it was making me upset at the same time, because I have checked out of the political system and its ways, and kind of been a bystander, kind of just watching hawkishly over the goings on in the U.S. political system. I've done that on purpose. I've chose to do that on purpose because I find that the more important consideration when it comes to myself and my family is my ability to function and to build foundations for my family, to make sure I'm gainfully employed, and all the other necessities in this life. And if I participated in the political realm and took a particular side and then had to contend with the assertions, the claims of the adversary, whichever side that might be in the political realm, I would be cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. I would be bipolar, perhaps even schizophrenic. But I chose, alas, to just focus on my locality. I chose to focus on my immediate family's needs, and in even defining who I am as an individual. I don't believe that the political realm helps me to find out who I am and who I am to be. It does not help me to know my best or better self. And so I wanted to focus on that. At the same time, keeping an ear to the ground as to this political jockeying, this political show, I'll say. All right. And so lastly, yes, it was making me very upset, very sick to my stomach, very dizzy. And what I came to is this system of politics is foundationally what the United States has always rested upon. All right. I was reading a particular documentary on these two families, the Delanceys and the Livingstons, back in the 1700s, late 18th century. And this particular write-up was discussing how the political system was essentially established, both families coming by way of obviously England, and being very influential and aristocratic here in the British and American colonies, and how they would sway, either way, the people of the colonies' minds in relation to the King of England and his influence upon those people of the colonies. And so my point is, this goes way back at the foundation. And it's always been aristocratic families, elitist, that have led the charge, that have been the most influential to the American colonies and British colonies, and to the American people. So nothing has changed is the point, but one thing is for certain, and two things for sure, that those aristocratic families, those elite bloodlines, are still at the helm, while the people jockey, fight, squabble over things that they really have no control. But that is why the governments exist, isn't it? When the people cry for someone else to do what it is that they should be doing when our moral compass becomes dependent upon something outside of our own selves, then the machine takes over and begins to rule. And we, the people, are elated that we no longer have that responsibility and that obligation. But the more we delegate away our responsibilities and accountabilities, the more we lose our natural inherent rights. And I guess that's the gravitas of this whole scenario. So I just want to put that on your mind, something to think about. Because if you don't particularly like the level of control that you have today, I want to remind you that delegating away your responsibilities has been the contributing factor. Okay? So consider these things. It's going to get very convoluted. It's going to get very aggressive. And I contend that this whole political thing, I mean, it's like settle for the best, or settle for, the best that they offer you. It's not what we the people demand anymore. It's take what we have to give you. It's Biden or Kamala Harris. It's Kamala Harris or Donald Trump. We're going to present you with the options that you have, and you're going to, under duress, coercion, and perhaps even threat, choose one of our options. Consider these things. Now you've been made free. The question is, what are you going to do with it? We go live every Sunday, 11 a.m. Central Standard Time. Please join us. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up button. And make it a great day. 4:54 Central Standard Time right here. Knowledge Well Media. Signing out. Peace.